Let's welcome back to the program here, Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan. Jim, I'll give you some props. You may or may not know because you were busy running that circus with all the Democrats trying to make it a circus, but OAN was the only network that I could see that actually aired almost the entire hearing.
Oh, thank you.
Fox dipped in and out, and all the other big mainstream gave you a clip. And then, of course, said that this whole thing, Jim, was retribution for going after Trump, that this has nothing to do because, of course, Joe and Hunter are innocent.
Yeah. Well, no, good to be with you, Dan. No, I thought Durham yesterday just gave detail and color to what, as you said, what we already knew. He just confirmed what we already knew, that the dossier was garbage. As he said in his report, they never should have launched this investigation, no proper predicate, no probable cause, never should have started it. Not one substantive allegation in the dossier, which was used to go get the warrant in the FISA court to spy on an American citizen associated with the presidential campaign. Not one single substantive allegation in the dossier was ever corroborated, ever validated, ever proven true. It was garbage, and they knew it. So I thought Durham did a good job in the hearing. I thought he did a good job with his report of giving the detail. Here's a great example. So in 2016, to show how biased the folks at the top of the FBI were, Comey, McCabe, Strzok, Page, these people, Baker, Precept, these guys, in the 2016, our government gets intelligence that says it's all made up from the Clinton campaign. This is a Clinton initiative to take the heat off of her and her email scandal. So they get this information. It's credible, so credible that Director Brennan takes it to briefs, goes and briefs President Obama, Vice President Biden, Attorney General Lynch, and Director Comey. Briefs them. Then he puts it into a memo, what they call a referral memorandum. That memo he gives to Comey and Peter Strzok, one of the top agents on the Crossfire Hurricane case.
Yeah, Peter.
Comey doesn't share that memo with the FISA court, doesn't share it with the lawyers who put together the FISA application, doesn't even share that memorandum, that information, with the agents on the case. Fast forward to the Durham investigation. Durham is investigating. He interviews one of those agents who was on the Crossfire Hurricane case, puts that memorandum in front of him, gives them a chance to read it. When they finish reading it, they become upset, they become emotional, they get up, leave the room with their lawyer, come back in and basically say, why in the heck weren't we given access to this? This could have changed everything. We're supposed to have all the information, but it was kept from them by Jim Comey. That's how bad this was. That's how much they were out to get President Trump back in 2016 and 2017. Right. And it continues to this day.
And Jim, didn't we also learn that the Mueller investigation, didn't some of those investigators scrub their phones? Clean their phones when those were asked to say, hey, can we see those? They cleaned them.
That was done. Key agents on the Mueller team said we should interview this guy named Charles Dolan, who was a source for some of the information in the dossier. Mr. Dolan was buddies with the Clintons. Mr. Dolan was former executive director of the Democrat Governors Association. They said, we got to talk to this guy. He's hanging out with Russians. He's getting information. He's hanging out with the Danchenko guy. We need to interview him. The people at the top of the Mueller investigation says, no, we're not going to do it. They kept pushing. They said, no. And they transferred that analyst to a different part of the case. And then what she ended up doing, she wrote a memo to the file, and she said the reason she did that was because she knew this was going to get investigated, and she knew the Inspector General was going to look into it, and she wanted to have the story right, so she put it in the file. Again, showing the bias not only with the folks at the FBI and the Crossfire Hurricane investigation, but also with the Mueller team. And in spite of all that, the Mueller team found no collusion, no coordination,
right, of course
no
they
conspiracy
did.
Between Trump and Russia.
Wow. I'll tell you, this is why I always say, folks, don't say the phrase conspiracy theory. Say government cover-up, because we're living one right now. They've been perpetuating this lie since 2016. It's starting to unravel, and now us, the folks they called conspiracy theorists, are being proven correct. We just got to stay on top of this. So my final question to you, Jim's an easy one, because all the viewers were firing me up last night after my report on this Durham report and said, yeah but what's going to happen? Because Americans are tired of seeing lip service. So now what the hell can happen moving forward, if anything, until we get to the Senate?
We got to use the power of the purse. We got to limit how American tax dollars can be used at these agencies that have been turned against the American people. You mentioned the IRS. That incident where that person used a fake name to come inside that person's home, that was in our district. That was one of our constituents. I get the privilege of representing. Yeah, it was in Marion, Ohio. It's ridiculous. You got to use the power of the purse to restrict how American tax dollars can be used by these agencies. And then one of the key things we got to do is not reauthorize FISA without dramatic changes.
Yes.
That is due for reauthorization. A key part of that is due at the end of this calendar year. We have to be tough on that. That's one of the goals we have as a committee.
Well, I can tell you, the America First conservatives out there, Jim, are watching closely. We know which Republicans that we trust, and we know which ones we don't. And we want to see action. So as long as you continue to keep pushing for this, so we can actually see some people responsible for this, actually maybe do some jail time or get in trouble, not just exposed on television and they go about their merry way, I think then more American people will get behind more of the GOP folks. But we just got to see that action. Jim, as always, appreciate you so much.
You bet. Thanks, Dan. Take care.
You take care.